He is the reigning, defending UFC welterweight champion of the world, and he will return to defend his title for the second time in the UFC 296 main event against Colby Covington. It is always my great pleasure to speak to Leon Edwards. Champ, how are you?
I'm good. Feeling good out here in Vegas. Finishing off the last week of training. Enjoying my time here and adjusting to the time zone different, but yeah, all good.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate taking the time. Obviously, fight just a week away, man. How was training? How was everything getting ready for Colby Covington?
It was good. It was definitely motivation in camp to get rid of someone like Colby, So it definitely adds motivation, and camp went good. My body feels good. Mentally, it feels good, and I can't wait to go out and perform Saturday night.
Contracts are signed, ink is dried, fight is happening. But because we talked about this after your last fight, we talked about what was next for you. Can you explain to me why Colby Covington got this title shot?
I can't explain it to you now. Maybe the UFC can, I can't. But like I said, he's the guy right now, right? He's the guy that I'm facing next week Saturday, and I am prepared for him. I feel like beating someone like him only cements my legacy even further than being the pound number one in the world, So keep beating these guys, keep chipping away. Then we'll get ready for the new wave of younger guys coming up,
Yeah, because listen, I tell people all the time, like, if you want to stay sane in this sport, strike the word deserves from your vocabulary because it'll drive you nuts. Because I think we would all agree Colby is not the most deserving contender. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like the world knows that, like he beat by Usman, beat a guy in Machado that's already, he's basically about to walk out the door, and then sit out for 2 years and got a title shot. Turn on all the fights that was offered to him, all the call-outs that called him out, and got some sport brat syndrome. Just want to get what it didn't work for, but like I said, here we are. It makes no difference now, and here we are.
Yeah. What do you make of, beyond all the crazy, wild, let's just be honest, kind of stupid things that Colby says from time to time? He's obviously a good fighter. He is a good fighter. He has a good style, things like that. What do you think of him? When you just eliminate all the outside stuff, do you think he's an impressive fighter? Do you find him impressive?
He's okay. He's a good solid fighter, I feel there's a lot of holes in his game. I feel like obviously everyone's talking about his cardio, and that's his weapon, right? But no one's saying nothing about his skill set wise. I think he's more, I don't think he's talented. He's more like a hard worker, right? It's more just I think it's more cardio than skills. But I think they're judging the cardio thing off him beating Robert Lawler 6 years ago. He's in for a total different shock, Does Robert Lawler that was already washed over the hill. During the same Robert Lawler that beat, that fought Rory McDonald back in the day, or that kind of guy, So I feel all his wins that is get confidence off is all older washed guys, and he's in for a rude awakening come Saturday night.
I know they're not exactly the same, but in terms of style, you could say there are some similarities between Covington and Kamaru Usman. Obviously, great wrestling, good pace, likes to work from the clinch, all those kinds of things. Now, obviously, Colby doesn't have Kamaru's power on the feet. I think we can all agree on that. He's more of a volume striker. But is there, in their way, do you feel like you've already beaten a better version of Colby? Because Kamaru obviously beat him twice, and they did have kind of a similar-ish style. Is there part of you that feels like you've already beaten a better version of him by beating Kamaru twice?
A little bit. Each fight is different. But I think a little bit. I think Usman more physicality in octagon is better than his, and obviously everyone talking about Colby's pace. I think Usman got a great stifling pace as well. So I just can't see how someone like Colby beats me. I've faced his style my whole career, which is a boxing, wrestling kind of based style, and that's exactly what he is. He's a boxing, wrestling, shoot double legs, swing hands to go under you. It's the same thing they all do. And I feel like I've owned the skills into beating that style, and I'll prove it again Saturday night.
A lot of people, when you went into that first the rematch with Usman last year, people were like, how are you going to adapt to the wrestling? How are you going to deal with the wrestling? We saw you dealt with the wrestling, then you got the knockout heard around the world. When you fought him in the rematch, which again we talked about afterwards, he couldn't really do any of that to you. It was you got to go out there and really beat him over 5 rounds. You didn't just get the knockout; you actually had to beat him over 5 rounds, and you stopped his wrestling. You stopped what he was good at. When it comes to the wrestling with Colby, like, you got to imagine. I mean, I don't talk about game plan, but let's be honest. He's going to try to take you down. There's very little chance he's going to stand on the outside and trade punches with you. Like, does it make it easier or harder when you face a guy who you got to know, like, he's going to try to put you against the cage. He's going to try to put, like, that's what he did to Masvidal.
Yeah, but I am no Masvidal. Like, come on, like, everyone knows that Masvidal was a one foot at the door fighter. He's about to retire and then fight Colby and get a little payday. Then retire with a payday. I am no Masvidal, so I feel like if that's what's judging it off, he's got, like I said, a rude awakening. And is it easier to prepare for a guy like that? Yeah, because I've fought guys like that my whole career. You know exactly what they're coming to do. They're very limited in the overall mixed martial arts game. Because I fought guys like that my whole career, I was able to grow my mixed martial arts game leaps and bounds. For the striking, the grappling, the jiu-jitsu part of it. Everyone knows once he's on his back, he's got nothing for you. Everyone knows once he's on his back foot, he's got nothing for you. He's only a front foot fighter, right? You only got pace if you allow him to have pace. And I feel like all that will be proven Saturday night, and I will show it.
You've proven time and time again during your undefeated run, Leon, and then obviously becoming champion, that you can shut out the noise from outside of fights. You've done it over, like, going into the Usman rematch. Everyone kept saying, "Oh, he beat you before," and blah blah blah. You didn't care about any of that. You went out there and executed, knocked him out, and won the title. Then again, defended it. Whatever it was, months later. How much do you pay attention to what Colby Covington says? Like, do you laugh at it? Do you just ignore it? Because he's trying desperately to get in your head. Like, that's
100%. Yeah, 100%. I just ignore it, right? Because he's like a different kind of banter to like where I'm from and the way I grew up. Like, just remind me of like a typical American jock. If you like Stifler from like American Pie. You remember like Stifler, that kind of person, just like talk shit and you're like, okay, like it's whatever, I feel like even outside of fighting, like me and him would never be friends. Like, we're just two different human beings and two different men, and our morals is different as a man, and that's it, and I'll go out there and it makes it easier for me to train. It makes it easier for me to go out there and punch a hole in his face, and that's it.
Because we know, like, everyone's already preparing for like Colby's insanity at the press conference next week, right? Like, that's going to happen. He's going to, like, you've gone through it before. Do you just like roll your eyes and just move on? Because I could probably sit here and recite to you what he's going to try to say to you. Like, right now, I could say it, I could play Colby Covington. Like, is it just like you just have to roll your eyes and just like ignore it, kind of, when it comes to that press conference next week?
Yeah, 100%. I can't see. Yeah, 100%. It's like it's funny, right? Because he comes out himself and said, "Oh, I'm playing a character. Like, I'm gonna play a character because I don't get cut from the UFC." So it's easier for someone like that to tolerate, just laugh at him and be like, "Oh, man, you're just a fucking weirdo," and that's just it. Like, like I said, you can say word for word what I was gonna say. You can know how he's gonna dress. It's just a character that's funny, and I'm a clown, and we just enjoy it for what it is.
A win is a win. You keep your title, doesn't matter how you do it. But in a way, do you feel like deep down inside you want to knock this guy out and put him down? Because every time he loses, it seems like right after he comes up with some reason why it happened. It's Mark Goddard's fault for stopping the fight too early with Kamaru Usman, which, I mean, he broke his jaw. I don't really think that was an early stop. And then the rematch, he lost. Was it closer? Sure, but he lost. I don't think anyone really scored him winning the fight, but he said, "Oh, it was a bump decision." But is there a part of you that feels like you need to knock him out just to silence it and be done with him?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I feel like obviously a win is a win, but not. I don't think I need to, but I want to knock him out. I want to just put like the nail in his coffin. This is his fourth title shot. This one he didn't earn one bit. Sat out for 2 years, complained, moaned, blame everybody else. It was everybody else's fault, but not his. And it's just like I said, like a man, just two different kind of person, and me cementing that last nail in his coffin, it would just be a joy, and I can't wait to do it,
Yeah, it ruffled his feather a lot. Ruffled his feathers a lot. I do a podcast with Matt Brown, and Matt Brown said he loses this fight. I think Colby retires. Like, what's he going to fight for after this? Because 4 title shots, and this one again, he's getting for a reason that we still can't really explain. I can't see Colby being like, "Oh yeah, give me Shavkat, give me, give me Gilbert Burns," like that guy. Like, I think that's a realistic thing here.
Yeah, 100%. Definitely not. I can't see him sticking around and fighting all these younger guys. He's already turned them all down already. So I can't see him now having that same mentality and grind to go out there and compete against these younger guys. He's used to beating guys like Robbie Lawler. He's used to beating guys like Georges Machado, the guys that's gone over the hill a little bit. They're 37, 38. They've been in wars. Their bodies beaten up, and he's used to being them kind of guys. So him now going out there and beating these young, fit, hungry guys, I just can't see him doing it.
Yeah. Now, obviously, your focus right now, Leon, is only on your fight, and you're the main event, so that's all you got to think about. But of course, we do have a couple other big welterweight fights on this card. I'm kind of curious, like, how much do you pay attention to that, or will you maybe after the event go back and watch Shavkat, maybe watch Ian Garry's fight? Like, are you interested in those fights? Because I don't know that either one's necessarily a number one contenders fight, but those two are obviously coming up.
Yeah, definitely not. None of them are contender fights. But like I said, I'm focused on Colby Covington. After the match, let's see who stand out, and then maybe I'll go back and have a look at the fights and what went on. But right now, I'm focused totally on Colby Covington. I'm focused on going out there, dismantling him, and then cracking on with my career.
Yeah, I know you've answered a lot of questions about this. I got to ask you, though, of course, everyone has talked to you about this whole Ian Garry situation. He came out there to Renegade, tried to train with you guys for a little while, didn't work out, he left. Can I ask just in your opinion, Leon, like, was there any bad blood from your side, the way that whole thing went down, the way it got publicized so much from like, his side and everything? Like, did any of that bother you?
Nah, definitely not. Definitely not. I feel like obviously came to the gym, just didn't fit into the gym. This is like the third gym now has been kicked out of. Like this is what it is. He's just a different kind of guy. It's hard to to blend with. Everywhere it goes, is the camera there. Everywhere it goes, his wife is there. His kids is there. It's like there's a lot going on. So they were in a bad blood. He came out and make it into like a big thing, and it went. Like mate, you've been kicked out to like more gyms than mine. Like why making such a big deal out of it? But also no, because I'm the champion. He wants to like ride off the back of my coattails and just like go back and forth with me on social media and here's what it is. Like I said, you gotta focus on yourself. If it does get to the title, does he? We don't know yet. And that's it. Wish him well. Let's see what happens.
I know what happens in the gym stays in the gym. But can you tell me honestly, did you knock him out in training? I heard that rumor.
I didn't knock out clean now.
But did he get a little taste of the Usman head kick from what I hear?
He got a little taste. He got a little taste for sure.
Again, and I know training's not fighting, but just a little bit of time you spent with him, what you've seen, like, is Ian Garry a guy you got your eye on, or do you feel like he's still a ways away from being in your level?
He's a long skill-wise, he's a long way away from even my thought to my brain to compete for title, So, like I said, I wish him well his endeavors are, but I feel like skill-wise right now is not a guy that I'm thinking, oh shit, I need to like stay away from this guy, because
Again, your focus is Colby, but I got to ask you, Leon, because obviously you're the champ now. Everyone's gunning for you. Is Belal Muhammad the number one contender after this? Would you fight Belal Muhammad again?
Is he the number one contender? I don't know. Would I fight him again? Absolutely. If he stands out, like I said, at the moment at welterweight, there's no clear standouts, right? Everyone just kind of like in this little bubble thing going on. So, like I said, I'm hoping to see someone stand out within the next after this fight straight away, and we can then get it booked and get moving. I want to be active champion. I was fit to fight in September-ish, but the UFC had other plans as far as like the order that Izzy are out booked already for pay-per-views, and there was all the cards booked up already, so it was hard to. It was between either New York or this card. John Jones had the New York card, even though they pulled out, and then now here we are.
But if the UFC calls that, hey, Belal's the guy, like, I know you're not going to turn it down.
No, 100% not. That's easy work. That's like that's easy money, and if he's the guy next, then he's the guy. Did anybody want to see that? No, probably not. But if he's the guy, then I'll happily silence him.
I know you mentioned in another interview about the possibility of doing 185, and I know you said you're going to keep an eye on that Strickland Dracus du Plessis fight in January. How realistic is it? I mean, eventually doing 185, but how realistic that this is something we could be talking about in the near future, not like an abstract timeline down the road, like 2 years from now? Like, is this realistic that this could happen sooner rather than later?
Yeah, 100%. I walk around quite big anyway. Obviously it's not a immediate goal. I know I got goals in my life that I want to do, and that one of them is being one of the best welterweight of all time. I want to beat GSP record. I got him down as the GOAT, so I have to stick around welterweight to do that. But I'd also like to move up and be great. Why not go out there and chase double champ status and be written in history books? Like he doesn't want to do that. So that's definitely one of my goals down the line. But I am focused, like I said, on Colby, and focused on the welterweights, dominating the division. If the opportunity comes up, I'm willing to take it whenever.
But ideally, I think GSP was 9 title defenses. So ideally, that would be like the dream scenario to do 10. Would that be the dream?
10. Yeah, 10. So I've had I'm 12 fights in a row now, right? I've lost in 8 years, almost 9 years. Going into my second title defense. I'm only 32 years old, so I feel like that's definitely doable. And that is my goal, is to from now on get to 10, get a middleweight strap, and then I'm out.
I mean, listen, as long as you had to wait for your title shot, you could be on like your 5th defense by now, Leon. Let's just be honest about it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So let's see.
Yeah. Well, listen, I mean, obviously there's going to be challenges out there, and I'm sure you got your eyes on everybody out there, but like I said, man, you got time. You're right now. I mean, this is honestly, even though you're on the streak, you really are in the prime of your career right now, I feel.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I feel it as well. I feel like I'm in the prime of my career and prime of my life, and I feel like that's going to be the difference Saturday night. I think it's easy to find guys, like I said, older guys that already had the prime of the career, been in wars, back-to-back wars, and been beaten up, been knocked out. He's never fought a young guy like me, just turned 32 years old, growing in confidence, just beat the guy that beat him twice, and Kamaru Usman, pound number one and guy in the world. So that's going to be the difference Saturday night, and that's what it's going to feel in there.
Yeah, and I know beating Usman was more satisfying because he had the win over you. He was the last guy to have a win over you. Twice in a row. You kind of did that.
Yeah.
You got to be honest. Beating Colby is going to be pretty satisfying. Like silence and that is going to be.
Yeah, 100%. That's him up there, Usman. Yeah, definitely, 100%. But we'll see. Saturday night after the night, and I finish and take him out. It's going to be just finally just get this it's like annoying bees in your ears. It's like. Get him away, and we'll let him crack on to what he's going to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Leon, man, this is, again, you're the main event for a reason. This is a great fight. Maybe not the most deserving guy who gets it, but he's going to get it. Yeah. And sometimes you got to be careful what you ask for. So he's going to get that on Saturday night. Thank you as always for the time, man. Obviously, best of luck the rest of the way. I know training's pretty much done at this point, but best of luck out there, man. Can't wait to see you back in action. And thank you for taking the time for me, champ. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Good man. Thank you.